One thing I love about Bowie knives is there's basically like endless like shapes and designs you can do, as long as it has this kind of basic shape, really. I mean, this is a lot straighter than some. Some, again, have a lot more of a hook here. Some widen out. Handle's a little different than some. You just kind of do whatever, as long as it's, again, vaguely this shape. And that's kind of what I like about them. You know, I can do so many videos on them, and I can just keep going because, you know, I'll just call it something else. This one, I definitely want to do something a little different with the handle. Instead of, like, using synthetic or, like, staining it, I want to just burn it as dark as I could. And I kind of like the way it turned out. Again, you have just a little hint that it's still wood, but still nice and black. I think it adds a lot to, like, the really rugged look. So, honestly, I love the way it's turned out. It's really heavy because it's, like, a 1/4 inch thick and really wide. But, I mean, it's a Bowie knife. What'd you expect? Also cuts pretty well. Okay, got the rough shape out. Did already sand the back, so I have a nice flat surface to kind of compare everything to. But basically from here, you're gonna have to give the handle a little bit better shape, obviously. Refine that. I definitely wanted to have more of like this to be a little more shallow, so we could probably cut off a little bit there. But I still want just a little, just hint of it being rounded out. Then of course, thin out the blade a little bit, give it some bevels. So, of course, not quite sure what I'm gonna do with the handle, but I'll probably just fake that as I go. Okay, I've got my blade nice and sanded and ground and shaped the way I want it. Turned out pretty well. The handle's maybe a little narrow, but I think it'll be fine. I'm honestly trying to make better handles. I've been
or I should say in the past, I always made them very wide, and I don't think they really need to be, especially when you have like wood scales on them. Anyway, so now to make the guard, I have this nice big chunk of steel, drilled a couple holes in it, the thickness of the tang. Now I'm going to take my angle grinder and kind of cut the space out between those holes. Then once that's done, I'm going to hammer it in place. We, heat it up in the forge, obviously, and then hammer it in place, so that way it has a nice snug fit. And then I'm going to curl up both ends a bit and maybe shape it depending on how I feel as I'm, doing it. Then from there, I'll be ready to actually heat treat the blade and get some handles on it. But for now, I'm going to get to work because it's cold. Okay, now that I've got handle scales glued on this, or backtrack, I don't think I showed that part. I just showed like heat treating the blade and all that. It's tempered. Handle scales on it, just some hickory I had laying around, nothing fancy. Now what I'm gonna do is take this file here, another file I have probably, flap this kind of belt sander, whatever, and get it nice and shaped to where it's comfortable, and just go from there. And by go from there, I mean I'm gonna take it and hopefully removed. Yeah. And then I plan on burning it, just a nice black color when it's done. Still have that wood look, but then it'll just be black. And that should be pretty much it. Should have a nice, very large Bowie knife. So, gonna get to work and hopefully get inside because I'm tired. It's been a long week for some reason.